So, I just picked up X-Men Mutant Massacre, and I finished reading it, and I have a lot of thoughts. So, let's talk about it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Geek City. So, as you know, I'm working on an X-Men reading order where I go through the history of X-Men and tell you where to read everything. So, this is a major event that obviously needed to be in it. So, I had to pick up the X-Men Mutant Massacre Omnibus, one of the most iconic X-Men crossovers ever. We'll talk about that in a second. So, I want to mention now how I will do spoilers is it's a review. Some spoilers there will be some major plot points that I will be talking about in here. Certain characters kind of losing their powers almost, and some characters killing other characters. I will talk about that. I won't spoil everything, but there will be a few things I'm talking about in here. I'll give my basic thoughts, and if you don't want to, be spoiled, then click off the video. So, here is the cover here. Love this. This is from the issue. What issue is this from? This is from issue... crap. Okay. 210, I think. 210. Uncanny X-Men 210. So I love the cover here. They had to take out the cigarette, or whatever it is that he's smoking. Got this cover here. Mutant Massacre. Sabretooth and Wolverine. There's a lot of that in here. If you're a big fan of that. The Marauders are killing the Morlocks. A dramatic and deadly battle. So this collects a ton of stuff in here. So this has, let's see, X-Men 1981, so Uncanny X-Men, 210 through 219, an annual 11, X-Factor 9 through 17, an annual 2, New Mutants 46, Thor 373 through 374, 377 through 378, Power Pack 27, Daredevil 238, and Fantastic Four vs. the X-Men 1 through 4, and X-Men vs. the Avengers 1 through 4. So, this is very much the first real X-Men event. There had been crossovers before that the X-Men had been a part of, but this is the first real X-Men event. So I was really excited to read it, and I really, really enjoyed it. So here's my non-spoiler review. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you while we're looking at all this, and we're looking at this really cool board here. So, I really, really enjoyed this stuff. It feels like one big action scene. This is a very important book. A lot of things change in here. A lot of new characters introduced, like Psylocke and the Marauders. Mr. Sinister doesn't make his first real appearance in here. I believe Inferno is when he does that. But he does have ties with this, so this is technically, he is a part of this. Hold on. Okay, so this is mainly written by, of course, Chris Claremont. But there are a few other writers in here for stuff like for Thor and Daredevil, all that, that's not going to be written by Chris Claremont. So now let's talk about spoilers here. It's kind of going down. So this is Uncanny X-Men 210. That's what the cover's based on here. I love this cover. This is by John Romita Jr., who does a lot of the artwork in here. So there is this group called the Marauders. And basically what they're doing is killing off the Morlocks, which are a group of mutants that are in a tunnel. I also want to mention here, I love this part. Kitty Pryde has a little speech. Right, let me find it. It's like right here. This speech, I really, really dug it. It involves a Nightcrawler and all that. That was really good. So yeah, this is a huge event. So not just X-Men, New Mutants, and X-Factor. You even have some of the Avengers in here with like Thor and Daredevil. And then there's like there's Fantastic Four, Avengers are in here. This was a really big deal. Because a ton of mutants are being murdered. It's called the Mutant Massacre, so what'd you expect? So, some of the big spoilers in here that I'm going to be talking about, there are a few really shocking moments. A lot of character moments in here with, like, Nightcrawler and Wolverine. But a big Colossus moment. One of the most important... If you're a Colossus fan, you know what I'm talking about here. So first, let me show you this cover right here. This is the Marauders. Hi there, I'm Scalp Hunter. We're the Marauders. We kill mutants. Who's next? So that's their job. They just kill mutants, and so they're killing the Why am I forgetting the Morlocks? Yeah, Morlocks that are hidden in the tunnel. We'll talk about them in a second because that's a big chunk of the story here. There's a really shocking moment, and this is again spoilers. So there's one part where Colossus murders one of the Marauders, which was so shocking because Colossus was kind of, the sweet X-Men. He's really kind-hearted, and he just snaps his neck. It's crazy. So here is taking place in the sewer here, where there's a lot of injuries and whatnot. Sabretooth in here. Sabretooth versus Wolverine happens in here. And let me find. There's something that happens to Angel. So Angel, I believe it's Harpoon, I believe is his name. So Harpoon, like, stabs both of Angel's wings. I don't know if I can find the panel in here. It's pretty early on. And so that's when Thor gets involved. And he's the one that actually rescues Angel. Let me find it in here. Yeah, right here. So Angel has to get his wings removed after this. So he's very much inactive for a while. And they talk about that towards the ender half of the book, later half. So this is Wolverine versus Sabretooth. So basically there's just a whole chunk of this where like Power Pack gets involved, and so some of the X-Men leave the sewers, some stay. X Factor, big part. And the X Factor are the original 5 X-Men, in case you didn't know. So Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, and Angel. Well, Angel's not exactly a part of it anymore by the end of this. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. Another moment I really love. Hold on. Now let me find it. There's one specific issue. By the way, this artwork, spectacular. One thing is, like, this book really feels like one big giant fight scene. There's not a lot of breaks in here, which actually, I really enjoy it. So I'm trying to find. There's one specific issue of X Factor. There's Havoc. There's one specific issue of X Factor I'm trying to find. See if I can find it. I'll let you know when I find it. Okay, I found it. X Factor 15. Okay, so, again, as I mentioned, Angel's really injured here, and so this is when he loses his wings. Because earlier in the book, I'm not going to go find the issue, but there's a part where the doctor's like, we got to take off his wings. And so Cyclops and Jean are like, you can't do that. Like, he won't be able to help anybody anymore. And so, Angel gets really mad, and the doctor's like, why is he mad and all that? And so that's when they explain, like, that's who he is. It's part of him. I'm doing a really bad job of explaining it, because, well, yeah. I'm doing a really bad job of explaining. But just know, this is a really, really good book. And this, just changed things for a while. So, obviously, again, Angel's out. And I think, and there's a lot of just changes to characters in the X-Men here. There's some stuff with Juggernaut. Again, literally everybody gets involved here. A lot of Thor, which I'm not a big Thor fan, so, I was like, okay, when is he leaving? And then there's a Fantastic Four miniseries with X-Men. It was 4 issues. Let me see if I can find it. There. Oh, I happen to flip on the page. This stuff right here, which is kind of that part of the aftermath here. That was a lot of fun. I own a trade paperback of that, so I guess I'll put it in my sell or getaway pile. And then there's also some Avengers stuff in here. There you go. Yeah, this kind of, I feel like later on, kind of stops being about the Mutant Massacre. It kind of changes pace. Around issue, let me find it. It kind of changes. Like, I feel like, all this stuff in the sewer with the Morlocks, I enjoyed that a little more. But, yeah. But overall, this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite X-Men event. Not my favorite X-Men comic. But one of my favorite X-Men events, I would say. If not my favorite. I really just enjoyed it. I do think that some characters get involved that I'm like, why is Thor here? That made no sense. But, overall, I just really enjoyed this stuff. It's a lot of fun. So this will very much be showing in the reading order. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have read this, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Most people seem to agree with me that this is one of the better X-Men stories. But I want to hear your opinion. So, like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. So I have a ton of videos coming up. I'm going to be doing a Deadpool Wolverine spoiler review, and then I will rank all of the X-Men movies. And then I will probably do the reading order, but that will be later on. I still got a few books I need to get. But if you guys enjoyed, so turn on notifications for all those awesome X-Men videos coming out. Like the video, subscribe, let me know what you thought, and as always, stay geeky.